This exhibition is the first of its kind.
Deep Time is about how no living thing exists on its own, how all life is connected.
This history is unbelievable, and the specimens are startling.
When I think of 6 million visitors walking in and looking up at that T-Rex with those tremendous teeth and those claws.
We want people to walk into that exhibit and have their jaws drop.
This exhibit starts at the beginning of our planet, and it ends in your future. The previous Hall of Fossils opened in 1911 with a bunch of skeletons, and it slowly evolved over a century. And when we closed this hall in 2014, it was an amalgam of many partial renovations of the hall. It had some cool stuff, but it really missed integrating all the science that happened over the last century. This new exhibit will tell the story of life on Earth, but it's going to be very different than all similar exhibits around the world because this one's not going to end in the past. This one will end in the future.
It's a big story. It's my story as an individual, but it's our story as a species on the planet today.
There will be hundreds of new specimens in this exhibit that people haven't seen before. And many of the old ones they won't recognize because they will be reconditioned and in different poses.
We have a Tyrannosaurus Rex and a Triceratops, where the Tyrannosaurus is feeding on the Triceratops. It's a very difficult, challenging pose to do when you're dealing with real fossil bone.
We have included a number of actual, real, touchable fossils in the exhibit space to help people engage. They can feel the texture of a tooth, of a vertebrae, of a skull.
By looking at fossils, you don't just see ancient dead things, you actually see the story of our planet.
There will be educators and volunteers who can talk with visitors about what they're learning in the exhibit.
Having the ability to interact with someone who does know something about that object helps the visitors go deeper than they would otherwise go.
They start asking questions and then more questions and really getting engaged in learning, which is amazing to see.
When you start to see the similarities of Earth across time and space, you start to understand a little more about how things work and what happens when things don't work.
On this planet, we've come to play a mighty big role. We changed the composition of the atmosphere, we changed the climate, we changed the chemistry of the ocean. And the result is we have a much greater obligation to understand how those systems work than we ever had.
By better understanding where we came from, we can understand where we are today and where we might go into the future.
The story of our planet is, in fact, a remarkable tale.
This exhibition will be larger than life, very literal.
Come for the dinosaurs, but stay for everything else.